So this is the last go round for Esau, man.
Yeah.
Most I'm gonna let him build this new world order back up. All right. This Illuminati setup.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna bring it down, man.
Well, I was just thinking, the Lord said, but I will throw down the beginning of
Most I'm gonna
throw those desolate places. As Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return to those desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
So this is the last go round for Esau, man.
Yeah.
Most I'm gonna let him build this new world order back up. All right. This Illuminati setup.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna bring it down, man.
Well, I was just thinking.
All right, Shalom. We're going to go ahead and kick this off. Start this off by giving all honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wa'akadas Fakat, Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for the Holy Spirit, which allows us to come back, do these live lessons, live counsels, these series, and whatever, these, hopefully something that could be edifying, exhorting, or admonishing to the, the sheep, the flock, the sheep of, the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone of Israel. And double honors to all the hopefully elect elders out here that are slaves to be saved, as well as the entire house of those slaves to be saved from this destruction that's currently coming upon this earth, written to come upon this earth in its totality, being, nuclear warfare, and chiefly is coming to America and to the wicked. And those being enslaved to be saved from it being none other than the Israelites, the elect and 1/3 of the Israelite race, which today is being known by bywords due to the commandments not being kept by them, and they befell curses, and one of the curses was taken on bywords and taunts, mockery. And these are now titles on them known today as Black, African American, Negro, Hispanic, Latino, Seminole Indian, West Indian, so-called Native American Indian, if I didn't say, so-called Afro people, and so-called Black Hebrew Israelites. The men that will have been found to have had repented before all hell breaks loose, and was actually back. And actually back in there, had been back in their true heritage, which is the true doctrine of the Bible, and living their life according to it in truth and sincerity, and teaching it, and the men, women, and children, also these people that will have been found to have had repented before all hell breaks loose and been returned back to their true heritage as well, which is the true doctrine of the Bible, the way of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who people ignorantly call God, and Jesus Christ due deceit and due to deceit. All right, so tonight's live counsel is going to be on what? It's going to be on what we just watched, the returns, the returns of Edom. The returns of Edom. And in the subtitle, the final chapter or sequence. And this came in wake, I was watching the elders, and the elder Tahar, he had said something spiritual, and that's going into Malachi, the 1st chapter and the 4th verse, in which he's basically saying the Lord, it's the final go around for these devils, and I don't know if he was exactly saying it like that, but it hit me, and it just, it just sparked more, and I'm like, that's it, because the thing that has been is that what shall be, because we always use the scripture in a certain sense. Let's bring it out where it actually started from, Malachi 1 and 4. That's not Malachi 1 and 4. That's Micah 1 and 4.
Sure. Scroll down.
Yeah, that's it.
Con. Malachi chapter 1 and 4.
Yeah, con.
It's Malachi chapter 1 verse 4.
Oh, it's Malachi?
Yeah, you was right.
Okay, con. Slot. Yeah, it is Malachi. I'm tripping. My bad.
Malachi chapter 1 and 4 says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Yeah, whereas Edom say we are impoverished, but we will return. You see that? And when you break down that word return, meaning to do again, to turn back to what they were doing. Now, who is Edom? Edom is a so-called white race. The Lord says, whereas Edom say that they're going to return, they're going to return. But see, what's spiritual about it is, you would think this had already happened. It's a few scriptures that come to mind. You would think this already happened with this. Give me Revelation 20:7 real quick. Revelation 20:7.
This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Now we know the devil, Satan, Esau, it's the same entity basically. You see what I'm saying? It's one entity at this point. So this talking about when the so-called white man came out of the caves. You see what I'm saying? When after Rome fell, and then the Holy Roman Empire fell. The Holy Roman Empire had failed, and when so-called Black started ruling Europe. So this is what this is going into, that 1,000-year reign, because we ruled from like in a range of roughly 900,000 years. Now, once that ended, that's when he was loosed from his cage. You can read it one more time.
This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Yep. So that's when he was bonded and put up. They fell. They went into the caves. And he was loosed. So meaning he was freed. So basically, and that's talking about who? It's talking about Edom. If we can get that in Revelation 12 and 7, we can start it. Then we can go back right there.
Yep, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven.
Yep.
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
You jump to the point. The devil, 8 or 9.
Yep. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9.
Yep.
And the great dragon was cast out.
Yep.
That old serpent called the devil and Satan.
See, it's all the same entity. Because what color are dragons usually depicted as? Red. Who are we talking about? Edom. What does Edom mean? Edom means red. These are just facts. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. All right, you can read that one time, bro.
This is Revelation chapter 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out.
Yep.
That old serpent called the devil and Satan,
Yep.
which deceiveth the whole world.
Ooh, see, come on.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Now this is actually post what's being spoke about in Revelation 20 and 7. You could jump back there. We might come back there. You got it.
This is Revelation chapter 20 and 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out.
Satan called the devil and the dragon. Now, when you usually see dragons are what color? Dragons are the color red. You can literally Google this yourself and see. All right. So real quick, here go Malachi 1 and 4, which is what all this is stems from, right? As far as what the lesson is tonight, the counsel is tonight. Malachi 1 and 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished. Now, Edom is the nation the so-called white man brought forth. If you can get that scripture real quick, bro. This is by the Spirit. Genesis, was that Genesis
36?
Yeah, 36 and 8.
It's Genesis chapter 36, verse 8.
Come on.
Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Esau.
Come on.
In Mount Seir.
That's right.
Esau is Edom.
See, Esau is Edom. You can keep going.
It says, and these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites.
See, so the Edomites is talking about Esau. Now, he gave birth to a race called the Edomites. What does Edom mean? It means red. I'll tell you right here. Edom is talking about the Edomites, the race, so-called white people, the red people of the earth, people with no pigmentation. See, Edomites are descendants of Esau. So Edom means red. Now, simply to keep it simple, when you talking about dragons, the reason why the Lord allowed a dragon to be used because he knew later on in time that man was going to pick dragons. Let's just put dragon in. Let's just put dragon in and see what color we get. I'm going to actually type it in as I, show it to you. What color dragon pop up as? There it is. You see that? Red. Go figure. Go figure. Red. Because it's talking, the dragon is a beast. And the beast is NATO and the EU. All right? Which is a compilation of mainly who? Edom. Who's what? Red. Which goes back to who? Esau. Esau is who? The so-called white man. See? So you can't make this up. That's why the Lord allowed it to be used. They go on to pick a dragon as red. You see? Dragons are usually depicted as red. Period. It don't matter however many times you draw you're gonna get a red. You're gonna get red. You're gonna get red, man. Alright, so that's just that. We'll keep that simple. Alright, so let's jump back to the point. You can jump back to
Malachi.
Nah. Revelation 20 and 7.
It's Revelation chapter 20 and verse 7. It says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of it. Satan.
See, that old dragon called Satan and the devil. Matter of fact, you jump back there real quick.
It's Revelation chapter 12 and 9. And that great dragon was cast out.
A dragon red, come on.
That old serpent.
A serpent red, come on.
Called the devil,
come on,
and Satan.
Go ahead.
Which deceived.
And really, it's less about the color when it say serpent. It's just talking about the type of creature. Basically a dragon, a big snake. You got it one more time.
It says, and that great dragon was cast out. That old serpent called the devil and Satan.
Just telling you, the dragon is a serpent. He went on to be called who? The devil. Who's called the devil? So-called white man. The dragon's talking about so-called white man. Well, guess what? He was an old serpent too. And he's called who?
Satan.
And who else?
And the devil.
Go ahead.
Which deceived the whole world.
See? You got it.
He was cast out.
Who was cast out?
He.
See? Esau was a man, right? Come on.
He was cast out into the earth. And his angels were cast out with him.
That's right. You could jump back to the point.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed.
There it is. Go ahead.
Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
When we was done ruling in Europe, go ahead. He would come back out. He would do what? He would return. Because that's how Esau get out. That's how they think. Go ahead. Even when they down and out. And you're going to see what ultimately this is going into. Come on.
Yep. And shall go out to deceive.
See? So this is pre what we just read. That's and this ain't even happened yet. Not this, but what the brother just read. What Revelation 12 and 9. That hasn't happened yet. He ain't fought. It ain't been a war in heaven yet. That's where we in the time with yet. I mean, we in that time period right now. We get to that time right now. So, this is the same person that was said to be loose went on to actually deceive. They accomplished. He was set out to do what? To deceive. Which is how he was actually gonna return. The so-called white man will come out those caves and he will return. All right. So let's jump back to Malachi. You can drop those. Malachi 1:4.
This is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith,
see, come on, Esau,
we are impoverished,
which is actually the dragon, the serpent, the devil, Satan. He said we are impoverished. See, same situation. Come on,
but we will return.
We will what?
We will return.
We will do again that which we did. Go ahead.
And build the desolate places.
And we're going to build where we fall, where we fail. Why you think it was a rebirth? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
After the Holy Roman Empire, there was a rebirth due to the Dark Ages. See that? Dark Ages going into when we ruled the time. When we ruled. Like it's a word. It's a bunch of words that depict the Dark Ages. like they tell on themselves because they was talking about it in that highways too. The elders, pretty much. One of the, I forget, I don't know who it was that was talking behind the camera, but he went into the word obscurium. Well, obscurium, I believe in Latin. I think it might be Italian, but I believe it's Latin. It's dark, and I believe secorium or seclorium is ages. Now, when you go into the word obscurium, it means swarthy, talking about the skin. So when they saying dark ages, it's literally when we rule, when dark-skinned people rule. They call it dark ages, obscurium, seclorium. And you know, which is funny because when you're in obscurity, or it's you basically cast it out almost. But it's not talking about that when you look it up in Latin. The word is talking about swarthiness. The word is talking about swarthiness. And I was looking it up. I just looked up dark, and then they ended up saying it in the highway, so it was all spiritual, Let me see if I can pull it up, because I can pull it up on the screen, but I just want to show it right here. Yeah, obscurium. Yeah, it's in Latin. Obscurum. Obscurum. Dark. You know what I'm saying? See if I can get it. It's on my screen. You got it? Yeah, obscurium. It mean what? Let's see. There it is. Dark. See that? Darkness. That's in Latin. All right. Now, seclorium mean ages. All right. Now, just read that one more time, bro. It's a lot.
God, this is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
See that? Now, when they was going into, I don't know if he meant it like this, but basically, the thing that has been is that which shall be. You see, and there is no new thing under the sun. So this is how Edom thinks. He said, even in the time of when they think they're at their lords, they always think to return. Meaning to what? To do again that which they did. So they conquered before. Like, for example, they conquered Rome, right? They conquered Rome. Or the Romans, they conquered Greece. You see what I'm saying? And then basically, but Esau conquered. Because the land of Rome wasn't his. They conquered Rome. And they ended up falling. Right? And they conquered Rome through a certain series of events. Murdering, pillaging, killing, stealing, etc. That's talked about in what? In what's the chapter? Was that Micah 2? Yeah, Micah 2 and 1. It's talked about there. We ain't got to get it though. But and doing what? Deceiving. You see, that's how they always conquered, and they with their sword. That's how they always conquered. That's how Rome almost took over everything. You see what I'm saying? And but ultimately, it's due what their method of their sword. Well, Esau got so good with his sword over time, it also became a part of his tongue. Because that was Esau's blessing. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got to get this real quick. Just get it. Let's get Baba Kushal. Let's get the blessing. Let's get Genesis. Was it 27 and 30? It might be like 33. We got to get it real quick, so this can make sense. This is what the Lord is saying, man. This is heavy information. We're gonna go into the final chapter. This is what this talking about. That's what that verse talking about, man. You got it. Like 27 and 33 or something.
30.
Give me 30. Start at 38.
This is Deuteronomy, Genesis chapter 27, verse 38.
Go ahead.
And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing?
But what?
But one blessing.
Go ahead.
My father, bless me, even me also.
He said, bless me, even me also. So Esau wanted a blessing. Go ahead.
O my father.
Go ahead.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Go ahead.
And by the sword,
and by the what?
And by the sword,
see,
shalt thou live.
That's your blessing. You see, you can finish it.
And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
And through his many efforts, many attempts of trying to separate. That's talked about in what? Psalms the 2nd chapter. He let us cut their cords asunder from us. You see what I'm saying? Which is what? Through deception. You see what I'm saying? Because what? Which was going to be what? By the effort of his sword. But what was his? Matter of fact, we gotta get that. Get Psalms 2 and 1, and then we gonna get it. So over the time, Esau, he would use that sword. You know. Matter of fact, before we get that one, we gotta get. You can drop it. We gonna come right back to it. Okay. Let's get the Micah 2 and 1. Micah 2 and 1, just to show that Esau went on and he fulfilled that blessing. And then I got something real quick. Go ahead. It's gonna be like a war story. You know, you got it, bro.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds."
Now this is a them because Esau became a nation, as it say when you read about the birth. He said the Lord said there are 2 nations in thy womb. It didn't say Esau and Jacob. It said 2. It's Esau and Jacob, but the Lord want to let you know it come down to people, 2 types of people. You know, so-called white people, no matter if they call themselves Polish, Jewish, Swedish, Scottish, whatever, versus so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, so-called black and brown people. You know, which is spiritual because so-called Chinese and Japanese people don't call themselves brown; they call themselves yellow. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro.
It says, "When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand."
Yeah, meaning they got the power to do so. But go ahead.
Fine. It says, "And they covet fields."
And they do what?
Covet fields.
Go ahead.
And take them by violence.
Which is that sword. It's Esau. It's talking about Esau. So-called white race conquered by what? A method of events, which is pretty much the word I want to say. Pretty much driven or empowered by, you know what I'm saying, the sword, you know, the dang sword, man. And you see that with America, you see that, you seen that with Rome, and you seen that after the Holy Roman Empire,
right?
And it's called the Holy Roman Empire because we was ruling during that time in that region, you know, so-called blacks, you know, Latinos, you know, and Native American Indians, because Jacob been scattered forever.
Exactly.
You know. So so Esau went on to fulfill that blessing he had. You know, he said, "By that sword thou shalt live." So who do you think this is talking about? You can read that one more time. Then I got something.
God, it says, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage."
Whose heritage?
And his heritage.
See, stuff that don't belong to them, man. They covet fields, they covet lands, and take them.
Because violence, God.
And why do they take? Because they impoverished. You know what I'm saying? God. They've been getting put out of power, but they always have the blessing and the will, the fortitude to get back. You know, the proud pompousness to try to get back.
God.
So he went on to fulfill that sword blessing physically. Now let's go here. Psalms 58. I got it. Psalms 58. And I'm going to start at 2. Yeah. It said, "Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness." You see? Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. You see? Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. So if you go watch the movie 300, you know, they all about killing. You see what I'm saying? Killing, conquering, murdering, stealing. You know, with that sword. They gun-ho with that sword. But see, Esau got so cold with the sword over time, he ended up using it in a different way. So you can drop that Genesis Get Psalms 55 and 21. Oh, sure. Let's get Psalms 55 and 21.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The what?
The words
Of whose mouth?
of his mouth
Uh-huh.
were smoother than butter.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
But war is in his heart. Go ahead.
It says, Salah, his words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords.
See, his what?
His words
Go ahead.
were softer than oil,
Uh-huh.
yet were they drawn swords.
Yet were what?
They
Go ahead.
drawn swords.
See that he ended up he was able to pretty much kill you with his words, and that's what happened to our people. That's what happened to everybody. You see what I'm saying? That man, you read that in the Maccabees, how Alexander came in and he spoke soft words to our people. Then he fell upon our people with just a crazy force, man. He just started destroying them. I believe that's Maccabees, the first chapter, in like the 26th verse. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? But let's go back to that Genesis. Cause I said drop it, but we was building. So we brought all those out. Then we gonna get that Psalms. That Psalms 2.
Yeah, I got that too.
You got it?
Genesis.
Yeah, God.
This is Genesis chapter 28. Let's see.
I got it. Let me bring it out. First Maccabees 1 and 29. It says, I'm gonna actually start at me start at I'm gonna jump. This is First Maccabees 1 and 18. It says, and made war against Ptolemy. I'm gonna actually start at 16. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, so-called white man, Edomite, he thought to reign over Egypt, which is spiritual, because America's Egypt now. You see, that he might have the dominion of two realms. Now it says, verse 18, it says, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt, another so-called white man. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. That's their sword. Now it says, verse 20, and after Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again. He returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. Now why? If you can read that again, Genesis.
This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 38.
Yep.
And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing?
Go ahead.
My father, bless me, even me also, O my father.
Yep.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Yep.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Yeah, all of the earth can offer you. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to have. So he take every goddamn place, man. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
And everything it has to offer. Go ahead.
And by the sword.
And by the what?
And by the sword.
Go ahead.
Shalt thou live.
That's how you going to get down, man. Didn't they say, get it how you live? Go ahead.
And shalt serve thy brother.
Yep. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass.
Serve thy who?
Thy brother.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion.
When who?
When thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
See, when you climbing and you putting that blessing to the use, you gonna break his yoke. But you gonna get so cold with the blessing, who would have thought you would have turned it into words, man? Your words will become a sword. Keep going.
It says, and Esau hated Jacob.
See? Why?
Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Blessed who?
Blessed him.
See? So that take me back here. This is Maccabees 1 and 20. And after Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year and went up against Israel. See? And Jerusalem with a great multitude, because Esau has a vendetta for the blessing that we got, that Israel got. And he go on to tell you that he said the more he always, his thought process was always to kill Jacob. Period. You know, even in his pursuit of happiness and coming up, his thought process is always on Jacob. It's like if you watch Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta, he always got, you see what I'm saying, whatever his objective is at hand, but he always got Goku in the back of his mind. You know what I'm saying? To beat Goku. That's his whole purpose of living. You see what I'm saying? Goku got what Goku is the only one out there that has what it's about to live. And that's what true power, you know, as a saying, you know, the true ability to unlock the myths, you see what I'm saying, that people couldn't bust. Becoming a Super Saiyan, stuff like that. It's the same thing with our story. No matter what Esau do, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indian, men and women and children are in the back of his head. You see what I'm saying? Because you have what it is. You got the only thing that that's worth living, that makes the whole existence. You know, you have it with you. You're the only ones that know about it. That's what immortality. That's ruling over your enemies. That's having all money, all power, being the best, being exalted, literally being God yourself. He want what you got. That's why he say he the saints. That's why he, you know what I'm saying, he make movies about having spiritual power. You know, he want to fly. He the astronaut. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He make movies about white man can't jump. You know what I'm saying? You can't make this up. That's what he want, man. So even in his pursuit, always keeping in mind in the back, we got for understand this counsel, you got to always keep in your mind that in the pursuit of all things that Esau want, the so-called Israel, the so-called blacks will always be in his mind. You see what I'm saying? Always haunting him. You know? So it says, and entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of the light and all the vessels. Now I'm gonna jump to the point. It says, this verse 24. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. Therefore was great mourning in Israel in every place where they were. And it says, so, and I'm gonna jump to the point. It says, verse 28, the land was moved for the inhabitants thereof, because you know, Esau had moved in and, you know, he was just bullying Jacob. But anyway, it says, and all the house of Jacob was confused, was covered with confusion. Now listen, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, on bull, as they say, right? It says, and spake peaceable words, unto them, but all was deceit. Yeah. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. All through his words, man. It started with his words. You was already dead thinking that you could trust the devil. You see what I'm saying? But that's how good he would get with his sword. Mm-hmm. He will understand how to make his sword work even better by basically disarming his enemy, in the battle. In the midst of a battle, he can get you to think you're not even in the battle, just so he can use his sword on you more efficiently. Put your weapon down. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's that. So let's go ahead and prove that. So his blessing was a sword. His sword ended up becoming his words, according to Psalms, the 55th chapter. His words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but yet they were drawn swords. Wars in his heart, man. You see what I'm saying? Let's prove that with Psalms 2. 2 and 1. This is Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. Uh-huh.
Why do the heathen rage?
See?
And the people imagine a vain thing.
Mm-hmm.
It says the kings of the earth set themselves.
See? The kings of the earth set themselves. Go ahead.
And the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed.
See? Always. You already made yourself a king, but you still got Jacob in your mind. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Saying, let us break their bands asunder.
See?
And cast away their cords from us.
Which is what Isaac told him. He said, look, when you got the dominion, you're going to break off his cord, his yoke from off thy neck. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Once you in your pursuit applying this sword, which is ultimately going to be your words eventually, you're going to find a way to break off his cords, his yoke from off your neck. By what? By, pretty much rocking our people to sleep through these different methods of events. And he always did that. You see what I'm saying? When he was at his lowest, because think about it, when he got his blessing, he was at the lowest. He was impoverished. He didn't have nothing. So the only way he would get it would be by that sword. And through the many times, but he was never better than Jacob. So through his many pursuits, Esau failed. Esau actually lost Edom. Like he actually lost Petra. But he will always go on to you know what I'm saying? He will always go on to what? See that? All the time, man. Did you finish it?
Got it.
All right, let's jump back to Micah 1 and 4.
Got
So, Lord willing, this makes sense now. Even more sense. You got it?
God, this is Micah chapter 1. It's a lot.
Malachi keeps saying Micah, my bad.
Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
See, we will return. So it was a point where, it's a bunch of points in history, actually, where they failed, But this is how Edom thinks. You can read it one more time.
God, Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom said,
So we talking about the red nation, so-called white people, Esau, right? The one that got the blessing as a sword, said to be able to possess all things, and have the fatness of the earth. But go ahead.
Yeah. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished.
This is what they say. This is what they think. Go ahead.
We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
This is how a true, ruling, prideful Edomite thinks. This is how the Lord's given us their thought process. So whenever they're down, they always think the return. All the time. All the time. When they're at their lowest, when people ain't believing them, when people ain't taking them serious, when people don't see them coming, they always think about doing what? Returning. And then my point being, I'm going to just go ahead and say it now. The point being, this is return. You go into that word return, it say to come back. You see? Come or go back to a former position. That's what's, give me Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. So if they thought like that in past times, they're going to always think like that. In what situation? When they're at their lowest, when they're impoverished, when nobody sees them coming, Go ahead.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
Ooh, so how have you been? That's how it's gonna be, man. Go ahead.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
Yeah, it's just a cycle. History repeats itself. Go ahead.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Go ahead.
Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
See, this is new. Come on.
It had been already of old time.
See that?
Which was before us.
See, so everything that really is being done now is everything that's being done now is already been being done. How people always thought is how they go think. It say consider the work of the Lord. Who can make that straight which he had made crooked? Can a leper change his spots? You see what I'm saying? Scriptures tell us all of this. No. So let's read that Malachi 1 and 4 one more time, bro.
It's Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith,
this is how they think. Come on.
We are impoverished.
See, we are at our lowest. We broke down. Our city's defeated. Come on.
But we will return and build the desolate places.
See, no matter where they at, that's how they will be. Because the thing that has been is that which shall be. Now, what do you see? If we know so-called white people, we know so-called white people are the Edomites. We know the sword. We know all that. But when you read that, the Lord is saying that what? They basically will have a bunch of different returns, and it will always, obviously, you can't return if you never left. You see what I'm saying? You can't return to something you never left. And that's what they will always think in the moments of when they have left something. And that's being at top, being taken serious, outright dominating over Jake, and outright oppressing and slaughtering Jake. They will have many different times that they will go through this. You see what I'm saying? Which is why we call this what? The final chapter. The many returns, you see what I'm saying, of Esau. You know, it's been many of them. So when they lost Petra, they returned. You know, they took over Greece. When Greece was on its way out, more Edomites just took over Greece.
Exactly.
And just conquered it and took over Rome. Rome didn't belong to them, it belonged to Jaffa. Then when they lost Rome and we took over, they returned again and was loosed out the cave, or the caves what we just read in Revelation 20 and 7, man. You see? And what is return again? All those times they were what? Coming back. They were going back to their former position, ruling with rigor. This, and ultimately with what? With their words when they get to their final form. You know what I'm saying? Esau got so good, he would get so good with the sword, he wouldn't necessarily need the sword, but that's ultimately his blessing, the physical sword. But his sword will basically become his words now. You know, and he will always have to use that to get back to what he may have left. And that's what you're finna see happen again. Because the thing is that's been is that what shall be. America failed, man. America failed. America shut down for basically almost going on 2 years now. Esau finna return. He finna return. The same way with a bunch of methods, different methods of events. With what? With the words. We just covered the many returns of Esau, man. But anyway, cause I know you know what I'm saying, you're going to say something real quick.
Yeah.
It's turn back, turn around, return. But my point of getting this, I only get that word re. When you go into re, it says what? Back to the original place. You see? Now, the key word we want right here is what? Anew. 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 That's what's getting ready to happen. The many return, the final, so you've seen all the previous chapters. Them losing all the places we just mentioned, but using the same method to get back to that place of power. You see what I'm saying? This is the final chapter. This is the final return of Esau, Edom. That's what you're finna see. That's what we're about to witness. We're about to witness the final return of Esau, Edom, man. With those words and ultimately that sword. But really, primarily, it's going to be driven by the evolved form of his sword, which is what? It's words, man. And that's what some call the New World Order. You see? You see that? New World Order conspiracy theory. They say the New World Order is a conspiracy theory which hypothesizes a secret emerging totalitarian world government. These is facts. This is the final chapter. Because Esau, he almost did it in the past, and he fell off when he was close.
Yep.
That's what's in Maccabees. Let me get it real quick. Then I know you got something you can bring out whatever you had. But that's the main point though. Is read meaning to do again, but ultimately what? Perfectly anew. You know, but you got it.
No, I just wanted to add this right here. It says early 14th century, and that was just during the time of they returned. That's just when this word came through. So, just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's heavy because that's basically when the
end of the Dark Ages.
That's what they would, like 1300s, 1325. The elders was talking about that too. So that's rough. That's you can't make this up, man. That's when Esau.
This was a return.
Yeah, that was one of their returns. But the final one now is this one. That's why America just shut down. You see what I'm saying? Everybody laughing at the so-called white man. China talking about they about to take over. No. He about to finally do what he tried to do back then. Esau about to do what he tried to do back then, which is what? Bring this new world order. This is First Maccabees 1, and we're going to jump to verse 41. it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. See that? That all should be one people. What does that sound like, man? You see that? And what is return? If you could read that one more time, this is how Esau always would think. You know, Malachi 1 and 4.
Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return.
We will what?
We will return.
Yeah, we're going to come back. We're going to actually, when you break it down, return, meaning we're going to go back to the original place, our original idea. Look, undoing something backwards, but specifically anew. You know, that's going to be their new method, because the new world order is done returning. It's like when you need to go back to the drawing board. That's a new world order.
Exactly.
That's what you're finna see. This is going to be the final return, the many returns of Esau, Edom, but this is going to be the final chapter. You see what I'm saying? The final sequence. And let's get this. First Maccabees 1 and 41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus, Esau, wrote to his own kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. See that? That's it. That's the new world order. He was trying to attempt it then, and he couldn't. He failed. He's gonna fail this time too, but he gonna get as farthest. This the farthest. This the last one, because it's a specific part of the new world order that's Esau didn't achieve. Then, matter of fact, let's bring that out. Revelation 13 and 16. He didn't achieve this. So, because you go on to read and say that, you know, everybody should profane the Sabbath, you know, to get the Israelites to stop doing what they're supposed to do, because they're the light of the world. So if you put the Israelites away, which Yahushua say, we the light of the world. You see, you put us away, now it's darkness. That's the gross darkness covering the earth. Now you can do what you want to do. You can walk on in darkness. All the foundations of earth can be out of course. You see what I'm saying? And that's pretty much that. So, you know, the Jerusalem has actually been physically conquered. The city, we've been conquered. You see what I'm saying? Our people been conquered spiritually. You see? Let me read this. It says, yeah, many also of the Israelites considered to his religion, you see, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. The strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they shall profane the Sabbath and festival days. That's why you got all these Hebrew Israelites celebrating Christmas, goddamn 4th of July, you know, Halloween, all this madness. Hump Day, Pride Day, you know what I'm saying? It's and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. What do you cook on? What get grilled and roasted? You know what I'm saying, on the 4th of July? Pig, man. Goddamn ribs. Not no beef ribs, some pork ribs, man. What get ate on damn so-called Christmas? Smoke all in the air. Smoked ham, man. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn chitlins. You know? So that part has already been done. It says that they shall also leave their children uncircumcised, which a lot of brothers and brothers say they are, and make their soul, and word before coming to the truth, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, should die. See that? So that's what it is. You know, that was that new world order, but he didn't get it was a part that he failed. They failed during this time. But they always once again think to return once they fall off to ultimately do what? Get back to their original state. And it was always to what? Be in control. Have a new world order. Because that's what read mean. They said, you gotta read it one more time. Slack it, brother.
Counsel what?
Malachi 1 and 4.
This is Malachi chapter 1 and 4. It says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished.
This is how they think, man. Go ahead.
But we will return,
see,
and build the desolate places.
Meaning anew. We gonna go back to the original place. Our ancestors was trying to get everybody under this one world order. You know what I'm saying? Make everybody have one religion. All that's already taking place, you know? But it's a certain part. This is how we know this is the final return. This is the final chapter of Esau, Edom's New World Order, which is what? Totalitarian world government. And we're going to get that word totalitarian, Salakia.
Totalitarian.
It says relating to a system of government that is centralized and dictatorial, how you pronounce that? Dictatorial, and requires complete subservience to the state. So this is going into one. That's what this is going into. Boom. One party. See that? One party. It's all about one. And that's what he was trying to do, Esau. So the New World Order goes into basically the idea of one party. So you tell me what the hell he was trying to attempt. You know, and it says if you're an Edomite, your thought process is always to return, meaning anew going into a new world order. And the new world order is to always have what? Focus on one party. First Maccabees 1 and 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. That's the new world order, but he failed. But they will come back. The final chapter is this part that they weren't able to achieve. This is how we know this is the final part. This is the final way that Esau's gonna try to get everybody, you see what I'm saying, on this one world order, this new world order. Go ahead, bro.
God, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
Where you at?
13 and 7. Revelation.
16. Yeah, 16. You good.
Verse 16?
Yeah.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all.
And who?
And he causeth all. Both small and great.
He calls it how many, bro?
All.
Go ahead.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or
everybody
in their forehead.
To receive a what?
To receive a mark.
No, marks.
To receive a mark.
See? One. Everybody got one thing they got to get, man. This the new world order. That's it. So everybody laughing at so-called white man right now. The dollar not taken serious. America's not taken serious. These countries don't take you serious because you lie about everything and you can't control your citizens. You see? So he's running, and then America just shut down with this stupid ass so-called vaccine, man. Pandemic, man. That was a part of the series. That was a part of the damn. You gotta be a damn dummy if you think this is it. All this was a test run for the New World Order, man. Esau's final chapter. This is the final chapter. Them shutting it down like Esau ain't cracking. No, that ain't how they think, man. Give me Psalms 49 and 11. That's not how Esau think. They said they're gonna return and build the desolate places. So when stuff was getting destroyed in 2020, Esau he wasn't going out like that. Because his thought process is to always return, meaning to what? Basically get back to his new world order, man. And that's the final chapter of their, this the final return. And the final chapter of their, their final return, aka final chapter / sequence is one more last attempt at trying to achieve their original state, which is the return, man. That's what return means. They trying to get to that original state, that original plan. We go back to it. Yeah, back to the original place, what they always been on. You know? Man, you know? And that's letting all that cool over and running a series of devices. You see what I'm saying? They don't ever think to lose and end. Go ahead, bro.
Kind. This is Psalms chapter 49 and 11.
Come on.
Their inward thought is,
See?
that their houses shall continue forever.
That's how they think, man. Come on.
And their dwelling places to all generations.
Mm-hmm.
That called their land they called their land after their own names.
We know this is talking about the so-called white man. The so-called Lord is depicting their mindset again. This is how they think, man. This is how they think. They think they gonna. How can you keep it going forever? You see what I'm saying? Through your sword. You gotta be kidding me if you think this was just, they lost, they ain't know nothing. Man, are you serious? America is fun. No. They make it, this the last secret attempt. This man's heart is deep. Remember, his words were softer than oil, smoother than butter. But yet they were drawn swords, man. It ain't about no damn shot, man. That was the test. Give me, what's that? Proverbs 14 and 15. You know? Huh?
This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15.
Yep.
The simple believeth every word.
You gotta be out of your damn mind if you thought the damn so-called white man is about some shot. It ain't about that, man. He's saying how many people he can get, you see, to do this one thing. Because if you know if he can get you to do this one thing, he can get you to do the real one thing that he's written to try to get you to do. And that's what? His feeble attempt, his God-given attempt at his new world order, being who the Lord made him to be. America reopening. This is an attempt at the new world order. This is the final chapter, man. So let's go into that word. Let's go into that word sequence. Now, when you go into the word sequence. It says, you got it, bro.
It says a particular order in which related events, movements, or things follow each other.
Related what?
Related events.
See, certain events. This is the final sequence you finna see from the so-called white man. Meaning it's a bunch of events you gonna see come from him that all relate. That's the shutdown. Oh, it's COVID. That's the damn, you know what I'm saying? Resolution. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All hell breaking through loose. Them letting you think you got control. All that madness, man. You want to get back to your regular life and just take. Mm-hmm. That's all that's related to what? The main one thing he trying to get you to do for that one agenda. Right. Which is that one, aka New World Order, man. Their return. You got it, bro.
A particular order in which related events, movements, or things follow each other.
See? He got a sequence set up, man. You know? He got a sequence set up. Now let's get the word chapter.
Chapter.
So chapter, it says a main division of a book, typically with a number or title. The second one.
See, a main division of a book. This is the main part of the book. The main division. When you look up the word, where am I joining at? Well, if you got your little sword on you, flip the little one right there.
This one?
Yeah. Flip to Revelation. All right, let me see it real quick.
Yeah.
So when you look in the Thomas Nelson Bible published by Thomas Nelson, they give you prologues. We're going to hop back real quick. They give you prologues in their book. All right? Now I'm going to read it real quick and I'm going to put it back up here. So they tell you what Revelation means. It say, just as Genesis, I'm going to jump down to the point. Yeah, I'm gonna jump to the point. It says the title of this book in the Greek text is Apocalypse, Anau, Revelation of John. It is also known as the Apocalypse as transliteration of the word apocalypse, meaning unveiling, disclosure, or revelation. I mean, I think yours is different from mine. It's good too, but I'm gonna get mine real quick. It says, yeah, Con, let me get mine. It's a lot. 1 second. So you get the Thomas Nelson. I don't know what edition this is. It might be the same. No, yeah, it's the same. Let me find this part. Okay, Con, that's it. So it says, I'm gonna just read at the top. Just as Genesis is the beginning of beginning, is the book of beginnings, Revelation is the book of consummation. In it, the divine program of redemption is brought to fruition, and the holy name of God is vindicated before all creation. Although there are numerous prophecies in the Gospels and epistles, Revelation is the only New Testament book that focuses primarily on prophetic events. Its title means unveiling or disclosure. Thus, the book is an unveiling of the character and program of God. That's what it means. The book of Revelation is the main, basically what it's all about. The Lord's whole revelation. I mean, the Lord's whole point. You know, thus the book is an unveiling of the character, how the Lord is, how he gets down, and program of God. See? So when you go back to this word, chapter.
Chapter.
You got it.
A main division of a book.
And what's the main division of a book is Revelation. Revelation 13:6 is about the RFID chip being the mark of the beast. Basically the one world order.
13:10.
13 and what did I say?
6.
13:6, 13:16. Revelation 13:16 on down is the pretty much the new world order. The final attempt, the final sequence of Esau trying to get back to his new world order. And it's in the main division of the book, which is what? Revelation. Damn, you couldn't see it the whole time? Oh, okay, I don't think I clicked it back on it. My bad. No, it was just this time. So anyway, so yeah. See? So that's it, man. The main division of this book, as we just read in the prologue. Because Revelation is the main book, even though all the other books talk about prophecy and stuff like this, the main one that focuses on prophecy, what's really going to happen, what's really going down, and primarily the unveiling of the character and program of Yahweh Bashmi al-Shah, man. When Esau tried to finally get everybody to do what he wants, because his true attempt is to be like God. Remember, he hated Jacob for his blessing. Exactly. Now, when you go, because that's another part to this. When you go into let's go here real quick. Let's do this. Let's go to Jeremiah, I believe 51 and 20. He said that he hated Jacob. Which Jacob means his trait was to be perfect, right? And that word for perfect was tham. But when you go into Jeremiah 51 and 19, it says the portion of Jacob is not like them, For he is the form of all things. Our portion is the Heavenly Father. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance, because Jacob got his name changed to Israel. Now, when you go into Israel, they didn't give it to me right there. Let's just get a scripture that say Israel. It's a lot. I don't know what's happening. All right, anyway, it's a okay, beautiful. It's better. Genesis 32:28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, that's the spirit, but Israel, for a prince hast thou power. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with man, and hast prevailed. Now you go into the word Israel, because remember, the Lord is revealing that Esau, he told us that he always wants to return. Get back to his new world order, which is making everybody one, with one thing, one way. Everybody having to ultimately put down money and use this new technology to pay for everything. That's how he gonna get back on top. So now Chinaman ain't ever gonna be over him, because he like, you ain't on it how I'm on it. Right. I'm a real devil, man. You see what I'm saying? But if everybody doing what he want to do, well, he basically want to be like God. But then they say he envy Israel. Yep. You see what I'm saying? Now, what does Israel mean? He hated Israel for his blessing. It said God's prevail. But this is the point. It says he, Yasha Allah, in the Hebrew, meaning what? He will rule as God. See that? See that? You see what I'm saying? Like, he really, you can see it. Exactly. That's fucking Esau, man. The so-called white man Esau. This nigga want to be the Most High. If you finna make everybody do what you want to do, you think you the Most High. Well, that's crazy, because Esau is said to envy Jacob because basically he like the Most High. Exactly. And these so-called white people say they say they Jacob, but they lying. So this is real. You can't. It's over with. It's real. As soon as y'all make that chip mandatory, because the technology here, as soon as you make that chip mandatory, it's that's it, man. But this is what the Lord is trying to tell us. He's trying to tell us what? He's trying to tell us this is the final chapter, man. You know? So let's go ahead and bring that back out again.
Chapter. It says a main division of a book, typically with a number or title.
Oh my goodness. Read Revelation 13-16, all the way to the end. Bible Kashab. And that title is you got it, bro.
This Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16.
Yep, Revelation. Come on.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor.
He calls all, like he the Most High. Come on.
And he causeth all, both small and great.
Meaning everybody. Chinaman that ain't taking him serious.
That's right.
Hamite man, African man ain't taking him serious. East Indian man ain't taking him serious. Nigga in the hood ain't taking him serious. Go ahead.
Yep, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yep, and that mark is going into that etching, that stamp, that badge of servitude. When you look at the word up, the word Karagna. You know, it's the RFID chip. So he said he calls it, because the technology here, but this ain't talking about the technology getting here. This is talking about it being a certain technology that he gonna make you get. You see what I'm saying? So even though it's here, that's just proof that this is what it is that he's gonna make you get. The prophecy ain't talking about he gonna create this technology and it's gonna be here and people gonna be talking about. No, it's talking about he gonna have this technology and he gonna make your ass get it. That's what it's going down to. Not even your ass, everybody. That's what he think. But go ahead and read to the end, Papa Shah.
God, and it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
This is going to be the new means of money. You know? Thus, you putting out diseases, money dirty. However, he gonna get it done, you know, because he's sneaky. Go ahead.
Kind. Or the name of the beast.
Meaning he gonna make it mandatory, or the name of the what?
Of the beast.
Go ahead.
Or the number.
Or the what?
Or the number.
Go ahead.
Of his name.
See that? Go ahead.
Kind. It says, here is wisdom.
Let
him that hath understanding count the number of the beast.
The what?
The number.
Come on.
Of the beast.
Yep. Now, when you break down the barcode, they say, you know, equals 666 and all that. But you got it.
Kind. It says, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
That's 666. You know, the damn mark of the beast is not no Maxine, man. That's just another thing you shouldn't be dealing with. That's just another profane thing. But the ultimate thing, what she was getting at those was the steps, just like in the Maccabees. Exactly. Profane, the Sabbath, be uncircumcised, you know, don't keep the high holy days, but ultimately let everybody do the same thing. This one thing. Ultimately what I say to do. Right. That's the main thing. You cannot take that RFID chip, man. Nope. You take that chip, your ass is grass. You see what I'm saying? You cannot take the RFID chip. You got it?
No, I just wanted to say that Maxine is just it's a chapter, but it's not the main division of the book. It's not the main chapter. It was a step, but it ain't this.
That's a part of the sequence.
Kind.
That's all it is. Because Maxine's been out here.
Exactly.
You know, they was getting tetanus shots and
all that
lockjaw shots and all this other madness, you know? But it's a main point in this. You got it?
Yeah, chapter. This is the second definition here. It says a period of time or an episode in a person's life.
In whose life?
In a person's life. A nation's history.
See? When Esau really go to the depths of thinking he the most high. You see what I'm saying? You already flying in the air like you think you the most high. You already changed your image and think you the most high. But you're going to try to control people and know their whereabouts. They say you could be tracked with the RFID chip and all of this madness, man. Which you can, because that's what it is. Radio frequency identification. What's the last one? You know, that's what it's going into. Radio frequency identification device. That's what it is. You know. So the information been here. Yep. Give me 2 Corinthians 2:11. Baba Kashah.
Call it again.
2 Corinthians 2:11.
Okay.
Might be 2:10. No, it's 2:11. So he basically trying to put this in your ass. You know what I'm saying? He trying to put this in everybody. This is how you gonna be using your hand. Go ahead, bro.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Of his what?
Of his devices.
All right, let's go back to what the word mean again.
Put it like
acronym, yeah.
ID, radio frequency identification, ID.
What I say, radio frequency identification? Nah, man, that shit ain't what that shit mean. You know, goddamn ID. Shit, see, radio frequency identification device is what it means. Where's the word device at? There it is. You know, radio frequency identification works through a small electronic device.
This the words though that they got. This, you know,
man, these
swords.
Yeah. Man, we gotta find that word real quick. Let me see. We're gonna get you. Let's see. Yep, there it is. You read that again.
Kind. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11 says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
See? And one of those devices is what? You know what I'm saying?
Man.
There it is. You cut, man.
Yeah, y'all so cut.
Y'all cut.
You got a screenshot that.
Yeah, y'all cut. y'all done, man. All right, request for implementation. What's it called? Data. So that's pretty much it, man. So it's a period of time or an episode in a person's life, nation's history. This is it. This is the final. This the final phase, man. This the final page. Woo! What is a phase?
Phase.
You got it.
Kind of says a distinct period or stage in a series of events or a process of change or development.
See? And that's when what? Money's changed. Money's thrown out. The way you buy and sell, it changes. That's what's going down. So that's pretty much it, man. All right, so that's what, if you can go back to Malachi 1 and 4, that's pretty much it. You know, like the Elder Tahar said, the thing that has been is that which shall be. So when he said that, I'm like, that's what that's talking about. Go ahead.
Kind of is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
See, they're going to return back to that New World Order agenda. And the final attempt at it is Revelation 13 and 16. So it's the final chapter in a nation's history of Esau, Edom. So-called white people try to lull you to sleep one last time. You see what I'm saying? And they've been doing it because the sequence is a series of related events. You know what I'm saying? They lulled our people to sleep with, man, you go to the game and you can get your thing. You go get you free donuts. You got Magic Johnson, I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Go get a blunt.
Yeah,
Pre-roll or something.
A pre-roll blunt. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So you can't make this stuff up.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return the...
I always forget.
It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
So this is the last go round for Esau, man.
Yeah.
Most I'm gonna let him build this New World Order back up. All right. This Illuminati setup.
Yeah.
And then you can bring it down, man.
That's
So I
it.
was just thinking, the Lord said, but I will throw down. The beginning of that is Esau being exposed.
Yeah. So that's the main thing. He gonna fail, and that's how you know this is his last attempt. Because the difference of this return is that he never got a chance to do this one. You see what I'm saying? This sequence. This was never a part of the previous returns sequences of his, which is the RFID chip. And Tychus didn't get everybody, he didn't offer everybody a one world chip. You see what I'm saying? One world way to pay for things. This particular devil is, and it's actually going into when America falls, you see what I'm saying? 2020 is the time of now. They finna return. Everything about to reopen up. You done seen a certain sequence of events now. And ultimately the main sequence of this return, this attempt at the New World Order, is to get that microchip in people, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's talking about. But ultimately, and it's gonna happen. Because the Lord talk about basically the penalty if you take it. So that tell you right there, people gonna take it. And he gonna actually get it out. So we're gonna go ahead and get that, and we're gonna close this out. Give me a Revelation, I believe 16. I think that is. The penalty. Slakia 14 and 9.
Got it. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9.
Yep.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead.
There it is, and that's the main title too. Like how it said in as far as when you go into the where is it? Was it this one? Where we went back from? Yeah. It's a lot. When you go back into that word chapter, it gave you the word what? Or was it? Oh yeah. It's a lot. You go back into that word chapter, it's a main division of a book, typically with a number or a title. That main title obviously being Revelation, but also Mark.
Yep.
You know, you got it, bro.
Kind. It's Revelation chapter 14 and 8.
Nah.
It's a lot. Verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image,
That's telling you people gonna do it. Go ahead.
and receive his mark.
And the image is the lifestyle. These people already got the image. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yep, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink
But
of
the completion of the penalty is when you get the mark too. So you can have an image and not have a mark and repent. You know what I'm saying? But if you get that mark, you did everything. Go ahead.
It says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the heavenly Father.
You can't repent for that. You can't repent for getting the mark. Go ahead. That's why it's in Revelation. Go ahead.
Which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
No mercy. Ain't gonna be no chaser. You know what I'm saying? Read through 12, Bible shot.
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels.
I wish we had our sign. We got it on our sign. You know? Go ahead.
And in the presence of the Lamb.
See? And the angels in your house are gonna sit looking at you like a goddamn Dragon Ball Z episode before the damn planet explode or something. You know what I'm saying? But the planet not gonna explode before America explode, you know? Go ahead, bro.
And the smoke of their torment ascend up forever and ever.
Yep.
And they have no rest day nor night.
Yep. He probably can leave you in that body to feel it if you take that RFID chip. That's telling you this is the point of getting this, just to show you people gonna get it. Go ahead.
It says who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
People gonna get it, man. They gonna get that RFID chip in their hand. Niggas gonna really be walking around with chips in their hands and foreheads, man. Your own people, you know, these damn devils. But this the last part. That's how you know this the final return. This the final chapter of their attempt at the New World Order, of their return. You know, which means what? To go back to that New World Order agenda. That's it?
A little bit more, verse 12. It says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that kept the commandments of the Heavenly Father and the faith of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, the ones that don't get it. So don't get it. That's pretty much it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we will go ahead and bring this out. I mean, we're going to go ahead and close this out. All right. So we give our honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father, name of His Son, Yahweh, Vashon, Yahweh Shai, Wahakodash Wakak, Wadi Habash, Shah for the Holy Spirit. Till next time, Shalom. That's it.